All right, what's up, college baseball fans? Welcome to another episode of the 11.7 podcast. Michael Earley gets announced head coach of the Texas A&M Aggies earlier today, and we're here to not only talk about that, we're here to do maybe a somewhat into the season recap, talk about our favorite moments, our favorite players from this year, move on from the 2024 season, start shifting our focus to the 2025 season. We'll dabble with Team USA national team, collegiate national team. We have some questions to ask that we're going to bring up, and that should be a pretty entertaining segment there. And then last but not least, we are going to just put the bow and the ribbon on this season. Just talk about our thoughts and our feelings. So it might not be the last episode of this year because we do want to do an award show. We just haven't come up with the awards, and we have not really thought about candidates or nominees. We could do it straight from the dome, but it probably won't be as good of a product. So we're going to wait on that. So here's what we're going to do. If you're a listener or a watcher of the show, either tweet at us or comment here in the YouTube. If you have our numbers, text us. What awards do you want us to give away? They can be fun awards like, I don't know, the best player over the age of 24 years old, or I don't know, best transfer portal pickup, things like that. It can be anything and everything. Yeah, whatever. But before we get all that started, you guys go buy your Pencil Talk hats. Jack has built quite the brand, and he's not wearing his Pencil Talk hat right now, but they're flying off the shelves. I think he's sold close to like 10,000 already, if I'm not mistaken. Only about 100 have paid, but like he's sold over 10,000. Like people are committed. They're in the portal right now, committed to the Pencil Talk. But Jack, what's the easiest and best way for people to buy their Pencil Talk hats? They will be on our website soon, but for the people who need them right now, tell them how to do it.
Great guesstimation, Ben. I'm not a math guy easier, but it definitely feels closer to 10,000 than 1,000. So it's something that we've been kind of internalizing. So if you're tight with me and you have got my phone number or you want to DM me, just give me a shoot. Like I'll send you this blank kind of Canva graphic that I've created. We're just doing everything through Venmo right now, PayPal, Cash App, setting up an email where I can go in and kind of roll through the orders because obviously being in Omaha, I couldn't do two things at once. So I've gotten back. I've put all 48 pre-ordered hats in the mail. Those are out. We've already got a ton backed up. And thanks to these guys, Ben and Dimitri, we're going to try to throw some up on the site. So if you're not in the Charleston, South Carolina area and you want a hat, we're going to send you a link. You can go online. You can buy them. My main man Dimitri is setting that up literally as we speak. So, but if you're in the area and like you're tight with me, like just shoot me a text and like I'll hand deliver it. I know I get all sappy sometimes on this damn pod, but like the fact that like something that's come out of my brain, people are optionally putting on their head, like fires me the hell up to no ends. So that's kind of it right now. It's loosely based. I don't know if I've told you guys yet, this morning, July 2nd at 8 a.m. officially LLC'd up. We're freaking official. So that fires the boy up a little bit.
Pencil Talk LLC.
Love Dude, that. You should have seen this banker trying to understand. I was like,
what a program. Congratulations.
It's a pencil instead of a microphone. This guy was looking at me like I had four heads. But yeah, I'm going to take him a hat actually too. So long story short, if you're tight with me, just shoot me a text. I'll hand deliver it. If you're maybe a little bit farther away and we're just getting to know each other, we'll send over a link and have them ship it to you as soon as possible.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we're going to continue to support the Pencil Talk LLC collaborating with 11.7. Big things on the horizon. We'll talk about like the business side of things here at the end of the podcast. But to get this thing started, Michael Earley gets named head coach of the Texas A&M Aggies. And Dimitri, you can go ahead and apologize to Jack and I right now for your just out of pocket, disgusting actions from last podcast. So go ahead. Floor is yours.
What am I apologizing for?
You said there is no shot they hire a first-year head coach, and you said it would be guaranteed a veteran guy that has won.
I'm going to wear it right here. I'm going to put it right on the chest, actually right on the fucking shin. I was wrong. They hired a first-year head coach. To be determined if it's a successful hire or not. But in the immediate short term, he kept the whole roster together. The mojo, the buy are at an all-time high in College Station
right now. You understand now why they did it. right? Like not only because he's deserving and is highly respected, but to keep that program together and like keep the momentum they've built, it was a no-brainer hire.
And I think I said that if they want to keep this roster together, you hire Early, which is fine. But I just think I'm still to this moment. Let me preface by saying I love Early. I think he is a damn good hitting coach. I think he is very worthy of a head coaching job. On the flip side of things, A&M, did they hire him because they think he was actually the best candidate? According to report, he was their 5th or 6th option on their list. I don't know what's true,
reporting
what's
has
true.
been.
I don't know what's
I'll tell
true,
you this right
what's not
now:
true.
the reporting that you see on social media is very, very shotgun approach. Like it is.
I think Kendall Rogers.
Most of the guys had no clue what was going on.
I think Brian O'Connor was a serious candidate. I think Tony Vitello was a candidate they would love to have.
So in the press conference today, the introductory press conference, Trev Alberts, the AD at A&M, did say they interviewed 9 guys. There was 9 guys that they interviewed.
Okay. So all reports aside, we can assume he wasn't the number one preferred candidate. He was probably in there, top 3, 4, 5, whatever. Maybe not number 1. Fine. They hired Early to keep this roster around, to keep the success and momentum going. And what they're hoping to do is support Early with guys that have been there, done that in the head coaching role to help him sustain the success beyond 2 years from now. And I think it's very, very possible, very highly likely that he can do it. But to pay that kind of money for that kind of program to a first-year head coach, really impressive. And I don't think we'll see this happen very often. That's what I'll say. I was wrong about them doing it, but I'm still not 100% bought in yet.
So let me just, I guess this might be considered bragging on myself, but I told you guys exactly what was going to happen. And Jack did hit the nail on the head, and I'll let him have his words here in a second. But anytime you see a job opening of this magnitude and you interview 9 guys, what actually happened? I'll tell you what happened. Every agent got on the phone. They were like, hey, give us an interview. I guarantee you every single one of those 9 coaches got a huge pay increase or extension on their contract. This is the game in college athletics. Like the moment a school feels like they're about to lose their guy, they come back with more money, more years on the contract. And dude, for like Skip Johnson and Brian O'Connor and some of these guys that they interviewed, like Tony Vitello, I know was interviewed, or at least not interviewed, offered an interview or whatever you want to call it. These guys are all getting more money to stay at their college. They had no intentions on leaving. And I know from like the A&M side, they have no problem interviewing a bunch of guys because now these schools are paying more money that could go to NIL or facilities or travel or whatever, recruiting. Like they're paying more money for a head coach. So it works in A&M's favor too, right? Like it's just one big game where A&M wants these programs to spend more money on a head coach that they probably had no intentions on actually hiring. Like I think A&M knew who their guy was all along. And the moment Michael Earley said, you know what, I don't actually want to go to Texas. I want to be the head coach at A&M. I think they had a great feeling like, you know what, let's play the game a little bit. Let's get as many interviews going as possible. And let's let those programs spend their money on coaches, on a head coach rather than, players or facilities or things like that. That's what it was. It was just a game. Like A&M was playing the game inside the game.
No doubt.
So,
no doubt. And I think, Ben, you said it almost 12 hours after it was announced. Wes Johnson got a raise, and he was never even connected to the situation at all.
Yep.
That's not taking away what he did at Georgia this year. It's just a matter of fact, right? I think when you look at this situation, let's go back to what you started with. This is another example. I grew up in a household. My dad worked in journalism for 31 years. He was a storyteller, and he kept me as far away from this industry as humanly possible my entire life. Why? Because it's changed. It's no longer about who's factual. It's about who's first, and it's a dangerous place. That's where we are now. So all of these conversations of, Brian O'Connor was this and right. That's fantastic. And of course, A&M would have been super stoked to have those guys on campus. I'm not saying I don't buy it. I'm just saying be careful. Like be very, very careful in the landscape that we live today. So when you look at the situation as a whole, Dimitri, I think why there was such great, feedback from our last podcast is because two things can be true at once. I think we were both very poignant in going about our discussions. I heard you, you heard me, we heard Ben. We were all correct in what we said. We just believed different things, maybe outweighed the other. I thought you were spot on, right? Like a school of this magnitude that just played for a national championship, it's a risky move to hire a first-year coach. In the same belief, I don't think there's anyone better suited in the entire country. That includes the best coaches on the map, right? Jay Johnson, all these guys. And your point was, hey, make sure that if Texas A&M is doing this, it's for not just the 1 or 2 year rental, like you said. Hey, there was nobody better to keep this group together than Mike Earley. It was in my belief, and Ben's as well, that this is the guy. Right? In my opinion, in today's college landscape, we are going to start seeing more young hires, dudes that are hungry. There's got to be this fine line of being grateful, yet being hungry. Win a national championship, and Josh Elander, 12 hours after the parade, is in the Cape going and getting dogs, right? So we live in this world. That's why, to me, Mike Earley was the perfect hire. This was an inevitable move. He's going to be a head coach at some point in time in his career. Why not now? So today, if you're an Aggie fan listening along, congratulations. You got the big dogs back, Rahovac and Laviolette committing back to CSTAT. It's a huge win. But even the rumors and the birds that are tweeting out, Evan Aschenbeck, who said, I believe it was on the Tex Ags podcast, I want to be back a part of this. This is about to be gnarly. You get the best closer in the country saying, screw the 7th or 8th round money. I'm coming back. I know Aggie faithful and that NIL collective are going to take care of me. I want another ride. This is that foreign territory in college baseball that we haven't seen. That's exciting as hell. So to say it was a home run hire would be an understatement. This is 80 grade across the board in my books.
Guys, I have a question for you. A month ago, would you have said Texas A&M, the Texas A&M job was a top 5 job in college baseball? Would you? I'm going to assume you guys would say no.
I would say no.
Top 5? No, probably not. Top 10, probably.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Now, after this whole shenanigans shindig went down, people are acting like this College Station Texas A&M job is a premier top 5 job. Oh my God, everybody in the country is probably interested. So from a PR perspective, Schloss leaving, I think boosted this program. It has made everyone know about Texas A&M, know everything about their players, know everything about everything with Texas A&M. I think the level of that job, I think, went up for them doing nothing, just from a head coaching search.
Dude, really, if this was still the old rules of college baseball where there was no transfer portal, no NIL, it's not a top 5 or a top 10 job.
No,
they haven't won a national championship. They haven't really competed in Omaha other than the last 2 or 3 years. And but as far as where we're at now in the landscape, I think easily top 10 job, possibly top 5. With the NIL money that they have and the fan base and the stadium and facilities and ability to recruit the Houston and Dallas area. They're right there in between both. It is a very, very good job. But, dude, one thing that I noticed, actually, before I get into the press conference that I watched, I want to say that for all of the 11.7 followers and listeners out there who have been with us since 2019 when we got started, Michael Earley was our very first video guest. He was the first coach to take a shot on us. And, of course, we're emotionally attached to him and his career. Because we're rooting for him. He took a chance on us. We had less than 200 followers on social media and a guy that just lives, breathes, and sleeps college baseball. Even when he was at Arizona State, he was a guy that was up around the clock, did not sleep. He got to work with Spencer Torkelson and Hunter Bishop and some of those guys over and recruited those guys at Arizona State. And for him to give us a follow on Twitter and reply to a DM hey, Coach, we'd love to have you on the podcast anytime. And him say, yep, we can do it on this Monday at 12 o'clock because that's when I take lunch. It's dude, that's pretty sweet. And we released it as a bonus episode. I mean, we never had intentions on doing interviews or having coaches or players on. And he was kind of the one that got the domino started because then he reached out to his connections and his coaching friends and, spread the good word about 11.7. So I think without him, we would still be in a position if we stuck with it these last 6 seasons. But he definitely helped jumpstart us and give us credibility. So we will always be rooting for Michael Earley because even besides 2019 when he came on, I was going back through our DMs and like he's DMing us during the COVID outbreak and this and that, just like, hey, if you guys need any content, like I'm going to be in the backyard with my son. We're going to be playing baseball every day. So we'll send you videos. Like he's a good friend of ours and a good friend of 11.7 and just a lot of people in college baseball in general. So yeah, like I'm really happy for him. And like hopefully we'll be able to get some more insider information or like exclusive interviews. Send Jack down there like Tennessee this past fall. Anyways, besides the point. The one thing that I noticed in the press conference today, which a ton of people were watching on YouTube, I forgot the exact number, but it was in the tens of thousands. And I'll tell you this, what I like about him. He's not this buttoned up actor of a head coach, right? Like we see it across the country in every sport, right? The coaches that are going to give the politically right answer and they have rehearsed what they're going to say, right? And they're going to rehearse how they answer questions. Everything from that guy comes from the heart. And like, I really mean it. There was times where he was nervous, like his hands were shaking and like he was stumbling over his words, but like he always caught himself and got that like fiery mentality back. And like, that shows to me that he truly believes everything he says. Yep. Like he's not trying to pretend to be anything. Another thing I noticed, he knew everybody's wife's name, everybody's kids' names. Like it was like the assistant athletic director of facility management. He was like, and his wife Debbie and his children, Sarah and Jessica. Like it was just like he knew everybody in that program and around the athletic facility, donors and everything. He's a guy that is going to literally leave his blood, sweat, and tears in that program. So for A&M, you're like, hey, we got this guy for another 30 years, maybe another 25 years. Like he's not going to find a better job than us. It's comforting, right?
I mean, so. I think you said it perfectly right there. I think he's going to be successful. I think he has got the cutthroat. He's blue collar. He's got a little bit of that cutthroat business in him where he's just going to go straight to the point when it comes to recruiting. He's not going to sugarcoat things. This day and age, some players are more soft than others. Back in the day, I'm not going to be a boomer here and saying it's soft, but I'm just saying I think that guy is going to immediately weed out players he doesn't want in his program just purely based on his
right,
his like demeanor,
how he presents himself. Yeah, so players are going to know immediately if they want to play for this guy or not, and he's not going to have to do much. The recruiting's going to do itself, work itself out with Earley. So I think that's going to be a benefit. I don't think this program is going to be a program where you're going to see too many guys leaving under Earley. I think it's going to be one of those kind of program, only 8 coming in. Nobody's going to be going out. So I think that's a really big win in this day and age of NIL and portal and all that stuff. So I think it can work out. I just think he needs to make sure he supports himself. He's got the mentorship because, hey, it's a lot of this in college baseball. You're going to go through some hard times. And I think if he can survive those times, he'll be just fine.
And one more thing he did that's really impressive to me is like he already has his assistant coaches. You get Jason Kelly from Washington, who was a big splash hire for them, leaving LSU and going over there and being successful. They coached together at Arizona State the same time we interviewed Earley, so like 2019, 2020, 2021, I believe. And then on top of that, you get Caleb Longley, who might be one of the best it might be the best hitting coach in the country, coming over from Texas. Like they're good friends, and like to have a staff that he trusts and a staff that supports him and he will support them, dude, it's going to do wonders for him. And he's keeping a couple guys that were already on staff last year that know everything.
Something like that. They got the Dobo and some other assistant, Fox.
Yeah. Will Fox was a video analytics guy that he promoted. Now he's like full-time on staff. That was something that Schlossnagle had made mention to. Like, hey, we're really happy for those guys and like cool as hell to not only go and get the big fish. And I think it was something that you'd said, Dimitri, in our group chat was this idea like, hey, he now has someone by going and taking a Pac-12 head coach. Now you got like that head coaching experience alongside of you that wants nothing but the best for you, right? So like there's that in-game experience that like he'll have, kind of in his pocket, right? And then to promote within, what I think you said that stood out to me, Ben, was this idea that like it is, and I don't throw around this word often, but genuine, right? Mm-hmm. Like interview anybody for the Tennessee Volunteers, and every single one of them go, it starts with 22, right? It starts with Coach Fatillo. I understand that we're in like the heat of the moment and reaction can be kind of fresh, but like the response of not only these kids, but these kids' parents, like on social media about how stoked they are about this hire, tells you everything you need to know. Ben hits the nail on the head. He knows like janitors' names. He knows like their families' names, their kids' names. When we met him in Hoover, Ben introduced him to me, and all of a sudden I became like a part of his family. Oh, you were so awesome to meet you, man. And it was a big hug just because I was like with Ben that day. That's different, right? Like he understands that he's going to promote within Will Fox. Like just like he took a shot on Ben, I'm sure there was a level of like, hey, how cool! Like you've grown this thing from day one to today. And he's a part of that origin story. That's why to me this is so much more than it was important to keep this team together that just competed for a national championship. Like in today's world, I think it's really important to resonate and relate with these kids and these dudes. And I don't know if there's anybody better at that job for this team today and for the next 30 years, like Ben mentioned, because he'll remember who was loyal to him at this stage of the game. And he'll remember that moving forward. And I think that's a huge piece of the puzzle.
And I think people forget. I talked to one of my friends who's an assistant coach in college baseball, a close friend of mine. When you coach in baseball, everybody has the dream of being a head coach. As you go from stop to stop to school, all camp to camp, recruiting, everything, you meet a lot of coaches. All of these coaches have a dream staff in their head. Some write it down, some have it in their head. They go, if I ever get a head coaching job, this guy's my pitching coach. If I ever get a head coaching job here, this guy's my hitting coach. They have a staff in their head always. So when you hear a guy,
we do that too. Like, think about it. Like, us as just like college baseball fans are like, if I ever get a head coaching job, like, I'm taking you and you and you.
and
like,
so when
funny.
you hear these reports, Earley, head coaching job, Kendall goes, I have a few names for assistant. It's guys from conversation in weeks past, years past. Earley said, I really love this guy, the pitching coach. He will be on my staff one day. So you just compile all of it. They have their staff before they're ever a head coach.
That's so funny you say that. This hire started at a bar in Scottsdale, dude. Or wherever that is. Arizona State in Scottsdale, isn't it?
No, it's
not I don't know.
Is it Tempe?
It's Tempe. Crap. West Coast.
I'm about to look it up.
They're gonna eat me up now, damn it. But that happened at a bar, right? Like, hey, bro, when we make it, like, I'll come work with you in a heartbeat. Like, you just let me know where I need to be when I need to be.
They were at Lake Point or East Cobb in Georgia and Atlanta. Yeah. They were out recruiting. They were like staying at the same hotel. Hey, motherfucker, that pitcher we saw today, that's my guy. He goes, no, that's my guy. You go, all right, let's go out for a beer. What are you doing after the game? They go out for a beer. Man, I like this guy. Let me hear about your philosophy. Yeah, I really like you. Hey, man, let's make a pact. You ever get a head coach job or I get a head coaching job, we hire the other. This shit happens every day, and you build up your dream staff.
That is 100% true. Like it's 100% true. These staffs are already built, and it seems like Earley got his guys. On the flip side of things, though, like Texas, the staff looks pretty good too, right? Like they had Earley in as a hitting coach in the assistant coach position. Well, guess what? They bring back Troy Tulowitzki, who's not only going to work with the hitters, but he's also going to work with the fielders, and like he's done tremendous things over there at Texas. I think there were some points where like maybe him and Pierce didn't see eye to eye. That's speculation. I don't know. But look, I watched Jim Schlossnagle's press conferences and interviews on SEC Network and everything. I don't think there's as much bad blood as like people are thinking. I'm starting to believe the guy. Like I know he made a big scene with the reporter Zane Richard and this and that, but for him, it makes sense, right? Like he was way more comfortable working under Chris Del Conte, and he's in a position now where like he's bringing excitement to a program again, and like the expectations were already so high at A&M that he has the same expectations at Texas. And like, I don't know, for the listeners out there, go watch his interviews, go watch the press conferences. I'm kind of buying into the Schloss hype again, and he was very like congratulatory of Michael Earley. He's like, look, the guy's a superstar. He's going to do great things over there. We wanted him to have this job once we heard that he was interested. Like, so it is what it is.
I think the perception of Schloss would be so different if all the reports and the rumors and all that stuff didn't exist. If people just found out, hey, he's going to Texas to work under his buddy, they would be like, oh man, we're pissed we lost our guy. Go be great. But there's so many rumors out there that it's very easy to paint a picture that he's this big bad guy, that he did everybody so dirty. So you don't know what to believe. But
dude, how much different is it if they win? If they win the national championship,
I think it would be similar. I would still think it would be similar.
But if you win, then you get A&M's first national championship, not on a horse in 100 years, right? Like all of a sudden, like how mad can you be? I brought you your first ring. Like I just did a selfish thing to do. It's because to me, like you lose the timing of it, which we all understand, but still disagree with. Like there's so many different wrinkles, but they win all of a
Dude,
sudden.
I think the timing has a lot to do with Coach Pierce. I think Coach Pierce might have leaked that timing.
Do you think so?
Yeah, why not, dude? Like he's getting fired from Texas.
Like
let's wait for them to be a game away from winning a national championship and let's leak it. And then that's when it hit the fan, and I think people run around like chickens with their heads cut off and they didn't know the right answers. But dude, I think if it doesn't leak ever, and like after the season's done, Schlossnagle gets to approach his guys and talk to them and just say, I think I'm going to take this job at Texas. It's a better opportunity for me. You're more than welcome to come over. Like if it would have been done that way, I don't think there would have been even close to this outrage. So
do you think Pierce just texted somebody and said, yeah, I got fired from Texas?
I would.
But do you think it was just all coincidental? Because what Ben just said, I think it's very likely to be true. It was on Pierce's end, but I don't think it was on purpose. I think it was just coincidental. He texted someone and said, hey, I got fired. They leaked it out, and it just happened to be on the day of this. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we'll never know.
Ben, you were Jack. Why does it seem like Tulo is so loyal to Texas? Why does he not go back to the West Coast? Does he live in Austin or something now? Like I don't understand why Tulo and Texas are like a unseparated couple kind of thing.
It's Texas, man.
Where
else is he going to want to be an assistant coach at?
Yeah, it's the coolest place in the world to live.
It's Texas.
I guess, but
I'm sure he lives in Austin. A ton of people do. Might just live in Austin, and Troy Tulowitzki, I'd love to have as an interview on this podcast because he's one of the few major league guys that still kept up with college baseball and loves college baseball, the sport in general. And it's similar to Lance Berkman. Berkman was the same way. These guys want to coach in college. They want to mold young minds and this and that. So, yeah, I mean, there's no better place for Troy Tulowitzki than Texas, right?
I guess it's the most professional, big-time stage in the college level is Texas. One of the very few. But, hey, is Berkman – do you know anything is Berkman doing? Is he going to be coaching?
I texted him.
And?
Can't say.
So can you just confirm that he will be coaching in 2025?
Nope. I cannot do that.
Can you say he is interested in coaching in 2025?
I think these guys are always interested in coaching.
I think
Is he interested? All right. Is he interested in a non-head coach position at the college level?
I can't answer that. No.
Oh, dude, don't be lame.
It was a very vague answer. And with my new job with Synergy and things like that, I can't really get too in depth with a lot of
you just gave it away. So he is involved with some program because
No. He's not involved right now. I think it's safe to say yes, he's interested in coaching, and I think that there might be some opportunities for him. Maybe not the Division I level, but other levels potentially. So, we'll move on from that. But anyways, anything else with this Texas A&M, Texas drama, whatever you want to call it?
Nope. Just want to say shout out. Did we ever shout out Justin Hare?
Justin Hare to Ohio State. Big move.
Yeah,
there's been some great coaching changes. Yeah. Look, last year it was more portal focused, right? Players in the portal entering and making big splash portal decisions, this and that. This year it's been the coaches. The coaching carousel has been great. I think a lot of these coaches are making very, very business decision moves. Justin Hare gets to go to the Big Ten with unlimited money. People say the Big Ten doesn't have money for baseball. They got money for all sports. They look, when the Big Ten's going to have close to 20 teams this year, maybe 20 exactly. You don't want to finish in 18th place if you're Ohio State. That's not a good look on your athletic program. So go get your guy, go spend some money, and let's go finish in the top half of the Big Ten.
I think he went and got. So I think Tyler Robinson, one of his coaches left Campbell, went to Vanderbilt, and then I think now that coach is it Tyler Robinson? Somebody.
Robinson's on staff with him at Ohio
Yeah,
State.
Ohio State, but he was with him at Campbell. But anyway, so he, like we talked about before, he had his staff. He knew he wanted. So Campbell, you're limited budget wise. These coaches know their limited budget staff, and they know their unlimited budget staff. Kerr had his unlimited budget staff already ready the moment he took that job. So good for him. And you mentioned this year has been more head coaching focus. Let's talk about
Washington. So Washington still has a coaching vacancy. It's a Power 4 coaching vacancy. They'll be in the Big Ten this next year. I'm really rooting for my guy Eddie Smith from Utah Valley to get it. And he's a Washington guy. He's got ties up there in Washington. He's done an unbelievable job at Utah Valley, like taking a program that won like 8 games 3 years ago. Last year they finished second in the WAC. This year they were like right at 500, but there was a point where they were in first place in the WAC. He's brought a lot of excitement to Utah Valley.
2 years ago.
Championship game 2 years ago. And he's one of those former LSU guys, LSU assistants. So he knows the game. So I'm hoping for Eddie Smith at Washington. He's one of the best guys in college baseball.
Who the hell wins at Utah Valley? Like anybody that goes there and wins, they know how to do something. They know how to do something right. So I would believe anybody that came from Utah Valley that was winning there. So
well, dude, he's gonna have their first round pick or potential first round pick next year, Daniel Dickinson. Like he recruited, and now Dickinson's in the portal. It makes sense though because like he's getting huge NIL offers and deals and stuff. He's gonna be a first rounder next year, I think, and he played at Utah Valley the last 2 years under Smith. I don't know. Like, that's just kind of a personal preference, but if you're Washington, right? Like you got to look at some of those West Coast, we call them mid majors, but they're baseball schools like the San Diego's, UC San Diego,
Fullerton, Irvine, Santa Barbara, Long Beach.
Irvine's head coach is a big. Like, I think Washington will be just fine with their hire. They got plenty of options.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, let's talk about. I don't know why I'm taking the lead here, but I just wanted to bring this up.
I love it. I love it. What do you want to talk about?
Cliff Godwin, position player, guys in the portal. He would what a story that is. Yeah. So you want to lay it out? You want to lay it out?
Yeah, I'll lay it out. So Cliff Godwin goes on. I forget. I'm ashamed of myself. I should know this podcast. Pirate Radio. Yep. ECU head coach. And after the season, they discuss things like why did him and Wes Carroll from Evansville kind of get into it in the handshake line after they lost the regional? What were some of the reasons why they lost the regional? And Cliff Godwin, I respect the hell out of him because he's always honest. He's always upfront. I think he's in it for the right reasons. He's turned down a lot of big-time jobs to try to win at East Carolina and bring that program to Omaha. But he did say that he was frustrated that he was throwing arms in the regional that already made up their mind that they were in the transfer portal, they're going to the transfer portal. So the guys that pitched in that Monday elimination game were in the portal by that Wednesday.
Who just committed yesterday.
Yeah. And he said, he's like, look, I would have thrown position players. I want guys that are committed to this program. I don't want to ever deal with the transfer portal. So, yeah, I mean, it was refreshing to hear a coach speak out against it. But here's the thing, guys. I think that we're at a time where the transfer portal is kind of leveling itself out. Last year, 2 years ago, there were these big players coming from smaller schools or different conferences making these splash transfer portal stuff. It was big time news when this player, potential first round pick, would go in the portal. Now it seems like teams are recruiting these kids out of high school and saying look, we're going to match whatever offer that you get. Don't go in the portal. The portal will no longer be an option for the best players on mid-major teams. Because I'm trying to think of an example. I can't right now, but I think there's going to be plenty of smaller schools or less baseball centric schools that are going to keep their guys from going in the portal now. Like they'll get the NIL money and they'll continue to play for that school
at the mid major. I mean, like even just talking about this situation, though, like you look at East Carolina, like they've lost their dogs now back to back years, right? Yeah. So even watching the way that the regionals play out, and then watching these stud mid majors try to make these Cinderella-esque runs that we've always hated to say because they expect to be there. But like, I think about Wofford given everything LSU has to work with. And then a week later, both team seasons over, and the Friday and Saturday guys at Wofford making their way to Baton Rouge. Like that's just the reality of the situation. So I've heard coaches describe mid-major baseball as like, dude, we're a double-A affiliate, man. We don't want our guys to play too good because they're going to be sayonara Sammy next week. Like they're in a tough spot. So not that I disagree with you because I do know what you mean. Like there are guys like 3 of the top 10 portal guys are going back to their school right now. Obviously it's A&M, so it's a little bit of a different scenario. It will even itself out, but I think that's what was so, not to keep harping on it, what was so dangerous about this Schlossnagle move is that it sets a new standard. It throws a dynamite into the stick of Pandora's box that now like these guys can be as selfish as ever because now they're seeing other coaches. So I think that's where Godwin is like maybe rubbed the wrong way because he's like, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like I've created this iconic college baseball brand and my guys are still going to leave me at the end of it. Like I want to know how committed my dudes are at the end of the day.
Here's a good example I just thought of. Drew Burress, right? Okay. Everybody the whole season thought the moment his season was done, he would be in the portal and he would be in Baton Rouge or he'd be in Gainesville or wherever. Yeah. I mean, Georgia Tech did a really good job of keeping him on campus, and I'm sure it has a lot to do with NIL stuff and coaching trust. They didn't make any coaching changes or hires. I think teams are way more prepared now, and it's going to even itself out. Like other than a team losing their head coach, I think it's going to be very rare to see big-time potential top 3-round draft picks enter the portal because they'll get the NIL. Like they'll scrape up enough money.
Leverage. It's a leverage move.
I do. I see what you're saying. I think the keyword prepared. These teams are now more prepared than ever, like where they have to learn how to recruit their own guys. So like to your point, like Drew Burress to that extent, right? Like that was Tommy White 2 years ago. Instead of going from a lower Power 5 to a big Power 5, I'm gonna make sure that I take care of my own and take care of the people. In the same sense, and I know we want to talk a little bit about it, so we can use this as a transition or not. But how about Team USA right now? Talk about bias. Our main man, Skylar Meade, looks like Captain America in the red, white, and blue, baby. Their cleanup hitter right now is a Trojan. Brooks Bryan's letting the draft world know, like, he's the real freaking deal. And this guy on the plate is going to be a Buster Posey finalist next season. He's hitting the cleanup spot. He's catching every day behind the plate. He ain't going nowhere. That's a Trojan, right? Caden Bodine, same situation at Coastal Carolina. Gary Gilmore on staff for that team. So I do know what you mean, though. It will even itself out because I think these coaches and programs are more prepared than maybe the last 3 years of what it looks like.
Yeah. I wanted to make sure the listeners knew because I think we brought up the East Carolina thing. Cliff Godwin, so Zach Root, and who was the other guy that started? Someone started the game. Zach Root came in relief.
Yeah.
They lost the game to Evansville. Godwin was mad at Evansville. He was basically telling Wes Carroll, like, learn how to win with class or whatever. My only thing was, I have no problem with that. You feel that way in the moment, you let him know. Finish, everybody will have more respect for you the next time you see each other. My only thing was like, come on, Godwin. These guys just won their first ever regional. Lose with a little bit of class. I'm not saying he didn't, but I'm just saying, like, hey, just let it be, move on, whatever. Zach Root entered the portal. He committed to Arkansas yesterday. And
that's a big pickup for the Razorbacks.
Massive pickup. Did you guys see that pitching staff? We can talk about that another time. That pitching staff is better than this year. But yeah, so you lose a guy, you're at a program, you think you're a blue blood. You can almost consider East Carolina one of the tier 2 blue bloods.
For sure.
You know, they just don't have that national championship presence. But if you're losing guys from East Carolina to these bigger programs, you still have work to do. I don't know what Godwin has to do, but he needs to get to the drawing board and figure it out.
So hey, can we talk Team USA now?
Yep.
Collegiate National League or Collegiate National Team. What is it? I don't get it, dude. It's not serious baseball.
It's an
Like
invitation.
in my eyes, I'll put it to you this way. My eyes, I think, are similar to a lot of listeners, fans, maybe casual fans of college baseball, but like love the draft and things like that. Dude, in my eyes, it should be similar to not a World Baseball Classic, but similar to like what USA Soccer is doing, right? Like go play these countries and go explore the world and compete for championships and tournaments. I think they just play inter squads, but I could be wrong. I don't know the structure of it, but I know it sucks.
They're playing. So basically, like right now, they just go throw on. I think, you know what I think of Team USA before I get into this? Imagine if the Gold Glove Company basically just threw a camp for all the Gold Glove winners. If you had 1, 2, and 3, Team 1, Team 2, and Team 3 Gold Glove winners, you just all invited them to some place and let's play some inter squad and say congratulations, you made Gold Glove baseball. That's what Team USA is basically like, the national college national team. But they are playing Chinese Taipei, they are playing Japan, but they're not playing the real one. They're playing their prospects. They're playing their young players that are coming out of high school, out of their minor league, independent, whatever. They're young prospects. 2 years ago, they were in Harlem, which is the Honkbal Week, which is in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and they played Italy, they played Curacao, they played the Netherlands, they played Japan, and they played Chinese Taipei. A legit week and a half long tournament, and it meant something. This year, they're not doing it. I don't know why, but that was their one trip, or they would go to Tokyo and play a 3-game series with Team Japan. They don't do it anymore, and it's boring. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say this too, because Dimitri, you're our international guy. Like, I didn't really know if they went and played, right? Like, I think it almost like I know Olympics is back for baseball. It'd be sick if we sent our best collegiate baseball players to go play in the Olympics. I think that's
what I want, dude.
no brainer. So, like, I don't know how that process works because, like, isn't on this Olympic team this year, like, we're sending like it's like Todd Frazier and a bunch of like old professional guys.
I don't know if is baseball even in the Olympics this year?
Pretty sure
it's not. It's not in Paris. It's in 2028 in Los Angeles.
Okay.
It is in LA in 2028. It is not in Paris this year.
So, like,
So 2028, we should send our collegiate national team, right?
100%.
No, we are going to send our big league team.
How?
No.
In the middle of the season?
The same way that the same thing they did in the Olympics. And where were the Olympics 4 years ago? 3 years ago.
Tokyo?
But they didn't send
we
us.
have big leaguers on that team.
We didn't
No.
send big leaguers,
No, we
dude. No
sent, like,
way.
We sent like Todd Frazier. We sent like not washed up guys, but like we kind of sent like guys that had finished up their playing career or like minor league dudes. Like we did not send Mike Trout didn't go play in the Olympics 4 years ago. Like
2028, we got to send our collegiate national team.
I think that is what we should be building towards. And I'll tell you this, getting to know those guys, I think that's what they're building for. Because what they did this year is very different than years before. Getting to meet a lot of those Team USA people in Omaha, like, to me, this is the first time in their existence at the collegiate level they're putting all their eggs in this basket. So this year they've got I don't want to say an A and a B squad, but they invited 2 camps, right? So where last year they had like 60 guys show up and it was like, hey, we're going to split you up and hey, we're going to have to cut a bunch. Because I believe it was Cuba this year canceled one of their series. They kept 2 teams to play each other. One will go play international teams. The other will go play the summer collegiate teams. So that's what's happening right now. But I think that there's such a focal point on it because there is more emphasis on like the social side to bring awareness to these teams.
So
I can see
have
it.
the
Yep.
Team USA roster pulled up. Nick Allen, high prospect. Eddie Alvarez.
High prospect. Nick Allen?
I think he was at the time.
No.
No? Okay,
He's
whatever.
like 5'9", 160.
Okay,
He's
sorry.
a good player.
Tristan Costa, big leaguer. Todd Frazier, washed up big leaguer. Jamie Westbrook, big leaguer, right?
No.
Didn't he just make his debut this year?
Maybe.
He was a prospect at the time. Tyler Austin, big leaguer. Eric Fila was a minor league guy with the Seattle, I think. I don't know who that is. Bubba Starling. He was kind of on the back end of his career at the time.
He was a
Shane
draft
Bott,
bust.
big leaguer. Brandon Dixon, Anthony Goes, big leaguer. Edwin Jackson, veteran, old, washed up. Scott Kazmir, washed up. David Robertson, big leaguer. Joe Ryan, big leaguer. So it was an interesting team they had in 2021, but this is better than the Team USA Collegiate national team.
Yeah,
No, but we're talking about excitement, right? And like something that, because in my eyes right now, the collegiate national team is nothing. Like it's a showcase. It's a summer-long showcase. I want to see like real. I want to. In my head, when you put on the stars and stripes, the USA red, white, and blue, I want to go beat other countries.
yeah.
Like that's what I want to do.
100%.
I want to go show other countries why we are the best. And
they had a chance to do that. They did it in 2021 in Harlem baseball. They got their ass kicked they got beat by Curacao twice, and they got beat by the Netherlands. They didn't even make the championship game.
Was it the team that we just saw?
No, he's talking about the
No,
collegiate
that was the
national
Olympic
team.
team in 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, 2022 Harlem baseball. They do it every 2 years. They lost to Curacao and they lost to the Netherlands.
They got in a fight with Curacao, right? They got a
collegiate
benches
national
clearing
team.
brawl.
Yep, they cleared benches with Curacao. So my thing is, why are we backing out of this? Go abroad somewhere, and go out of the United States. Let these guys get some passports, some of them for the first time, and go play other countries and play like you actually feel what it means to wear the Team USA uniform outside of the United States. Get out of Cary, North Carolina, please do it and make it actually an honor to make this team.
And to specify, because I don't want people to take this the wrong way. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes of Team USA baseball. Like I'm sure they're doing great stuff. As just somebody that's never really followed it, I want to go beat other countries. Like I want to go see those guys lace it up, be on one team together, united, and go beat other countries. Like I don't get it. Is my point. I don't get it. I mean, let's go inter-squad 3 days a week. I don't get it.
Let's bring the meats. Let's bring the meatster on and ask him to break it down for us.
Yeah. All right, let's go with our kind of a season recap, or I guess moments recap here. Do you guys have a favorite moment from this year? Favorite moment from the season? It can be anything. Something that really stuck out to you.
Yeah, I'll go first. I think as we were breaking this down, I think this is a perfect segue into our episode next week when we do our award show, where I'll get like more serious and break down actual players and dudes that we covered this year. Favorite moment though, as I was kind of jumping on board with the boys and we were tinkering with some new ideas, and you guys have graciously let me jump on the pod as we kind of invented Club Omaha. And we didn't really know what it was going to look like. We're just going to live stream and see what happens. Dude, those Club Omaha moments, bringing on Roland Fanning and Skylar Meade after wins in their living room. We got Roland Fanning sitting at his kitchen table, and all of a sudden his wife brings over a freaking jug of Diet Mountain Dew out of the fridge, like just on deck. That was legendary. Skylar in his bedroom with his like wife in the other room, like legendary. Those OG like initial Club Omaha nights were the best.
Yeah, dude, I agree. That very first Club Omaha where Hagen Smith struck out 17 in 6 innings, that was a lot of fun.
I think I joined Club Omaha one night and I was going through the scoreboard freaking out, result after result. I was like, what is happening? I don't remember what it was, but somebody committed 5 errors and lost it. I don't remember, but it was that was fun.
That was the birth of the Riz God. Those OG Club Romans. That was birth of Riz God.
The worst name ever. The worst name ever. But yeah, I mean, I got fired up there for a second about Team USA. Like, dude, go get out of the country. Get these young college kids. Most of them have never even left the country. Get out and go play. Go play some European baseball. Go play some international baseball. It's different. It's a different world out there.
Yeah.
Like, it's a different game. So I hope that for them and the players and the coaches, and you get to meet new people. You get to play new people. And some of these teams are guys that you'll probably end up seeing in minor league ball down the road.
Yeah.
So, or that are already in professional baseball. So, like, you're not just playing some young kids. You're playing pros from other countries.
Do you have a favorite moment, Dimitri?
From this year, favorite moment?
I have a couple. Like, that Florida State Clemson series was a lot of fun to watch. Like those moments, you could tell right away, like these two teams are going to be amazing. The favorite moment, though, it might have actually had to do with Florida State. That Tennessee-Florida State game in the College World Series, the night game of the Friday, the check swing game, as some people call it. dude, that was just a lot of fun to watch. Like edge of my seat the whole time. And
Watching
man, I think that might have been my favorite moment this year.
watching Evansville win a regional was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Watching. There's so many good moments, like even from conference tournaments. Dude, you can't put me on the spot like this? There's too many good ones, and I feel like if I pick one, I'm going to be forgetting another one.
Keep thinking. Regular season, the night that we watched Ace Reese and the Houston Cougars walk it off on Club Omaha, legendary with the boys.
Legendary. And we stayed up and watched the Hawaii NC State game.
NC State boat race. Fell in love with the pack that night. Just gorgeous. God, we have to start a campaign to get Hawaii into a regional next year. Has to happen.
Have to happen. Dude, Hawaii was good enough for a regional this year. I'll stand by that.
That was fun. I think that postseason, so if we're gonna go regional watching LIU selfishly, just right there. That ninth inning was so sick, and then the walk-off. That Chapel Hill regional to me was my favorite.
That Friday, the regional the whole day Friday was electric.
We had more
from start to finish.
All right. Okay, guys. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have some. I just did an advanced search on Twitter. This is a moment that I was fired up for. One of my favorite moments being back here.
And Eric Bakich is celebrating the regional win.
Okay. What else do we have here?
I was going to say my favorite maybe my favorite moment of the year was game of the year, Florida and Clemson Super Regional Game 2 that I was lucky enough to be in attendance for. That was really sick. That was the Canarella inning, the Cags bump in the second inning. That game was.
Base hit in the center. Hebel scores. More behind him.
This was right after the check swing, huh? Blake Burke's 2 RBI single to tie it.
You mean this?
Yeah, that was my favorite moment, probably. That whole game was just awesome.
So sick. I mean, think about it. They probably don't even have to lose game 1, right?
The center field. It is deep. It is.
Okay, wait. I think that Canarella catch was my favorite moment.
That did not just happen. Because of an injury, he's in the lineup, and he has been a game changer. This one's out to center field. It is deep. It is.
Oh my God, dude! What a catch!
My goodness!
Yeah, we got to take that off because it's going to mess up the audio.
What?
The audio was choppy, but the Canarella catch, extra innings against Florida, game 2.
Game 2.
Right, well, here. I mean, I was going to keep sharing this thing. I just turned the sound off because here's so many more good videos, guys. How about this?
Derek Clark, 132 pitch game. Oh man, it sucks that he went back out in the 9th and they lost.
Yeah, the Canarella inning, because I mean, he makes, in my opinion, one of the greatest catches in the history of the sport. But then he's a 3-run homer with 2 outs in the top of the inning to even just get it to that point. Like, it was like the greatest inning a college baseball player's ever had, ever.
Shout out Gary Gilmore. Happy retirement. I don't think we ever actually said it on the podcast. Maybe we did, but
yeah, we did.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, what a resume. What a career for him. SEMO
in the air towards left field, playable.
Hey,
Ian Riley makes the catch.
You can get flagged.
I was going to say, listeners are going to be freaking.
Dude, just give me a second. I'll keep the sound off. SEMO eliminates Arkansas. That's a pretty good moment, huh? Hey, Birmingham Southern, did that count?
That's a good moment.
That is a good moment. Birmingham Southern, after they closed the school permanently, they won on a walk-off home run.
Craziness.
High Point. Our boys at High Point winning a game.
The freaking Purple Panthers, baby. They had them. They had Clemson on the ropes the next night. Or the first night, excuse me.
Do you guys remember that comeback win against Texas? Who was it? Texas State came back and won against Texas in the Minute Maid College Classic.
And that wasn't even the craziest come from behind loss for Texas that weekend.
That game was insane.
Oh, the Vanderbilt one, right?
Vanderbilt was down 8 in like the 6th, and Texas blew that game. The Texas State one, the kid blowing the bubble and then hitting the homer. I mean, they said it. It was their Super Bowl, man. They won it. I mean, it was sick.
Yo,
there's that LIU.
Yo, how about freaking this?
That was devastating.
Well, dude, how about LIU's guy that with 2 outs hits a 3-run homer to take the lead?
Yep, top of the 9th.
Dude, that whole Friday, the regional opening day was so much fun. It started with Wofford and LSU. That game was intense.
God, yeah.
Oh, how about that? Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Hoover.
Yeah, it was pretty good. We were in Montgomery for that one.
Walk-off bomb.
We actually missed that
as it
one.
becomes predictable.
Actually, quite literally one of 2 SEC tournaments.
Yeah, down 1-0. Bottom 9, 2 outs.
1-2 count.
Walk-off homer.
Crazy.
And your rival season. Ole Miss season was 100% over at this point. There was no at-large chances. So you basically ended their season. I love that. What else do we have? Some other 16K games.
Number 15.
That's actually something that we haven't talked about since Tennessee won the national championship. This guy wasn't on that team.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of talking points I could go to.
Charlie Conley, BB Core record.
Do you guys think Condon's 37 homers is ever getting touched?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I don't know how, but it will.
Dude, I'll tell you this.
Rintaro Sasaki.
Who?
Rintaro Sasaki, Stanford Cardinal. He will break
He's
it.
not hitting 37 in that ballpark. No shot.
He's going to be in the ACC, man. They have plenty of games on the road.
That's going to be so hilarious. And a conference game, Stanford and Georgia Tech. It's going to be great.
Oh, yeah, guys. This was the bottom of LSU season. This was the bottom.
No, Ben, I'll tell you
what a loss.
See, hold on. I want to press pause and end this episode in a second. There are so many things that I want to go back and dial in. Ben's plus hypothetical, and the last time we'll ever talk about it. I don't want to.
Plus 1,100, Southeastern Louisiana against LSU, and a kid from my high school blows the game in the ninth.
That one hurt the heart big time.
Yeah.
Tommy White darting a dude in the head. That was pretty legendary.
God, South Carolina, man. Get those boys back on track, please.
We didn't talk about that hire either.
Pulmonary. We did talk about it. We talked about how it's a 2-year bridge the gap kind of thing, get Monty Lee ready. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. This was one of my favorite screenshots of all time. Marshall Southern Miss, dual no-hitters through 7.
Oh, my God, dude.
Fun belt.
So, anyway, guys, look at this. You remember this? These are the final 2 undefeated this year.
Hot, cold, hot. We should have predicted it, man. Hot, cold, hot.
And FSU not ranked at the time. Still not ranked.
Dude, I still remember D1 Baseball's refusal to rank those guys.
Yep.
They refuse to rank. Dude, if they don't get, I'm being dead serious. If that check swing goes the other way and they beat Tennessee game 1,
they might win the
national championship. They might have won the national championship.
100% agree with you there.
Yeah, I don't know if they're beating A&M, but yeah.
This was a game.
Yeah, I was watching this live. This is the only game on my screen at the time. And I'm like, Kyle DeBarge is about to hit a bomb right here.
What a uni matchup. Oh my God. Shot at the home field.
That was the best uniform matchup of the season right there.
Check yourself. San Diego and Oregon may have been the greatest costume matchup.
That was a good one.
Outside of, we did have Tennessee and North Carolina in Omaha at the Mecca. Tennessee Blacks versus the Carolina Baby Blues. There was that.
Capitalized. Here's the 1-2.
How about this? Kentucky was the greatest Friday night team in the country for about a month.
Tennessee.
They run. They
You
even
mean
run.
Kennesaw? You mean
Yeah.
Kennesaw was the greatest Friday night team?
Who do you think?
You said Kentucky. No,
No,
we didn't need to show this. This game got Jack and myself pretty upset with Kentucky.
I don't want to talk about it.
It had to do. It rhymes with eight keg barley.
Smash Meg.
Run double.
People are going to be listening at home like these random spurts of bah, bah.
Hey, this is
Nick
my
Wilson
cousin's
coming
video.
out party at Dallas Baptist.
This was my cousin's video. He took it.
Shout out Chase.
Yeah, shout out Chase.
Let's go, Chase.
Also, I think we're gonna hire Nick Wilson if he doesn't get drafted, which he should.
That ball placed.
Been DMing with him.
Who?
That ball placed.
You got to remember this game. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vanderbilt's comeback win.
Yeah. Troy Leneve.
What was it? Well, it was an 11-3 lead they blew.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what my favorite moment was this year? Was when Jack went to the airport in Houston. He was going to miss the night game, Sunday's night game for the Houston College Classic. And he was already in the airport. And then I texted him. I said, hey, there's a chance they're going to want you on this broadcast. Because I was texting with Dave Dolan, DMing with Dave Dolan. He said, yeah, we might have a spot. And Jack left the airport, got an Uber, got a later flight, and went back to the stadium. Did not go on the broadcast, but that FaceTime was all-time hilarious.
That was.
I was like, dude, they might, man. They might.
I said, Ben, I don't care. I've literally got Ben on. See, this is why we need a whole other episode. For those that don't remember the story, I am in line. I am in TSA.
He's in the TSA line.
I go, Ben, tell me there's a 10% chance. He goes, Jack, there's a 10% chance. I think it's actually higher than that. I go, done. I don't even care. I go, Ben, if this doesn't happen, this will be worth the moment. I went to the freaking counter and I go, hey, I've got a family emergency. And they go, tell them we got you on a flight tomorrow for free. We're back. Yeah, Dimitri, we don't want to look at that. That was also smash schmeg of a play.
I made that scoreboard, buddy. They didn't have a score bug on this game because the score was so bad.
Oh, that's right. Clemson didn't have score bugs. They had the one angle from behind home plate.
Yeah.
And I went and photoshopped the score bug on there.
Not ideal.
By the way, I forgot. It might have been one of the best games of the year.
We talked about this one like 3 times today.
We did? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's pretty much it. I don't get much else. I think we just want
that was a good one. That was an all-timer.
I miss Club Bromaha, man.
I did too.
All right, well, let's wrap up the show here. If you guys have any ideas for off-season content, we're more than welcome to listen. We have a decent plan. We're not going to disappear, I don't think, like we have in past. We got some ideas, but if you guys have ideas of like what you want to see, what you want to listen to, videos, graphics, content, whatever, let us know. Comment below. You can text us, DM us. It doesn't matter. Just relay your message. Other than that, man, it was an awesome season. We're going to do an award show. We will do one more podcast where we have legitimate awards. And do you guys have any closing thoughts before we shut this thing down?
I've got one. Let's think of a sick name for the award show. So if you're listening along, tweet at us. Let us know. 11.7 award show. That's
22.14. 22.14.
What?
22.14.
22.14. That's what you want to call the award show?
Just some random ass. Take our name
Is
and
that double? Is that 11.7 times 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, 22.14.
No, I don't think that's true because 11.7 times 2 is
23.4. It's actually 23.4 doubled, but 22.14 sounds cooler.
Yeah. Yeah, we can come up with a fun name.
Get something creative. Get the juices flowing.
But hey,
Do something good.
are we officially putting?
Let's call it. You want to call it the Emmys? Let's just call it the Emmys. Like who might win an Emmy this year or something like that. You know what I mean?
Hey, we'll get creative with it. We'll come up with a good name.
Are
But
we officially
anyways,
putting a ribbon on the season?
we'll put a bow on the season next episode, the award show, and then we'll call it quits. Focus on 2025. Oh, we got a draft show too. MLB draft show. Never mind.
That should be Club Bromaha. reaction.
Yeah, let's Club Omaha
I'm down.
live reaction
I'm
to
down.
Yes. When is it? When is the draft?
July 13th, I believe.
All right, we're freaking going live Club Roma with Nat the cat in Michigan on vacation. She's going to be furious. It'll be a no-brainer. On vacation, post-college baseball season, my girlfriend going to break up with me on vacation. Shout out Nat the cat. Yes,
Big time.
I'm all in on that. That'll be a blast.
All right, boys and girls. We'll see you guys later in the week, probably. I don't know.